Alright everybody, today we are going to be doing Mantine only in Pokemon Crystal. This one is going to be quite a bizarre run, to be honest, because there's going to be points in this run that are really easy compared to others. Mantine's one of those Pokemon that's really not that bad. Like, we have the base stats here. The special defense is amazing. Special attack is manageable. Defenses, like, speed and HP are all, like kind of decent, but not really, and then attack's bad. So Mantine's just an interesting Pokemon when it comes to that. And then we have the moveset here. The moveset, thankfully, it learns a lot of his special attack moves, kind of, but like, I don't know. Blizzard's really hard to get, so I didn't think I'd be getting that going into this. I was like, okay, we might have to do Icy Wind. And really the only stab flying move we get, as you see on the right there, is Wing Attack, which is a level up move, and our attack stat is awful, so the likelihood of us using attack or tackle or anything like that really too much is really low. We started here with tackle and bubble, as you see, so I actually thought that we would experience some problems because tackle I knew wouldn't do hardly anything to Chikorita, and I knew that bubble was going to be resisted by Chikorita. So we have the this is the first Bird Keeper in, oh no, actually I didn't even put that in. This is Faulkner. Faulkner we ended up beating. I did lose to one of his bird keepers once, but it wasn't too bad. The second rival here, I tried to do that first before Bugsy, and it did not work. So then I was like, okay, let's go to Bugsy. We're almost at Bubble Beam. We did end up getting Bubble Beam from Bugsy's trainers in his gym. So by the time we got to Bugsy himself, or herself, is Bugsy a boy or a girl? I don't know. But we had Bubble Beam, and that made it a lot easier. And with Bubble Beam, I figured the rival fight would be a lot easier as well. This is one of the hardest rival fights in the game. I do want to mention, I was actually trying to replace Bayleaf with a different starter. I was trying to do Mareep, Flaffy, and Ampharos. But I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, so that's why they're using Bayleaf still, because I figured that'd be the hardest out of what we have. Whitney was really easy. Jolteon on the Kimono Girls I wanted to show here, I thought that might be some problems, but it actually wasn't. This rival fight before Morty was not too bad. I honestly thought this would be a little harder than it was, just because we was still working with Bubble Beam, and a move like Bubble Beam isn't the best, and I'm like, the longer we have this on our moveset, the less effective Bubble Beam will get. Actually, that's why I did the Kimono Girls. I forgot. I got Surf. With Surf, this rival fight was extremely easy. That's what it was. I forgot. I'm sorry. Anyways, Morty with Surf, really easy. I don't like to teach Surf to my Pokemon, really, unless I have to, because it's a move you can't forget because it's an HM move. So I don't really love to do that, but with Mantine, that's one of the best moves we'll get in the game, so I had to teach Surf. With Chuck here, I kind of thought we'd have issues because we really have nothing to hit Poliwrath with, and it kept putting us to sleep, so I was extra worried. But we did end up defeating Chuck here, and it wasn't too bad. Jasmine I figured would be pretty easy just because I figured we could brute force our way through the Magnemites, and we was with Surf. And then Steelix is really weak to our water type moves, so that was a one-shot. Jasmine for once was actually really easy. Something happened with the price footage, and the recording was paused when I did it, and I'm like, you know what? Price is always easy. I'm not going to restart the entire game just to record one fight that's really easy, so I didn't show that. But the next rival fight before Claire, was okay. We didn't really have any issues. It did paralyze us, which was annoying. Okay, so with Claire, it was one of those things where we couldn't one-shot the Dragonairs, and that was a problem. Even with the Icy Wind that we had gotten from Price, it was still an issue, and we was not able to do it on the first try. They just kept paralyzing us. By the time we got to Kingdra, we had nothing to hit it really that hard. It resisted our Icy Wind, it resisted our Surf. Our Wing Attack does nothing because we're a special attacker. The second time, though, here, we did end up being able to defeat Claire, kind of against luck. I did hand Mantine a Paralyzed Cure Berry, or whatever those things are called. I think that's what it's called. Anyways, then we have the rival fight here right before the Elite Four, and I wasn't really sure where we was going to go with this either, but this also ended up not being too bad. We still wasn't even able to one-shot the Golbat with Icy Wind, which is always interesting. I did not want to learn Confuse Ray here, so we did not learn Confuse Ray. And this is kind of the end of the easiness in the fight. I didn't really know at this point because I had battled basically all the optional trainers at this point because I was like, I don't really know. I feel like Mantine's going to struggle at some point. But we found the point here, and it is the Elite Four. Even with Icy Wind being good against a lot of Will's team, we still wasn't able to one-shot a lot of the team. And I had a problem where I didn't have enough ethers to get through every single trainer with ethering like that many of my moves, and we had a PP problem at this point to where we had so many moves with such low PP, or low-ish PP, and we kind of needed all of them. So I would use Bubble Beam when I could, but Bubble Beam wasn't enough to defeat people. There was a couple times, the first few times, that we was able to get to Bruno, Karen, and even one time I got to Lance. But the problem is just none of our moves hit hard enough. We didn't have enough ethers, and yes, I could have backtracked to get some, but that's not what my Pokemon challenges are about. This is about if somebody just went in, someone basic that didn't know a lot of Pokemon knowledge, and went in and tried, and this is what it would be like. So, as you could see here, we did level up some, and we would try every couple of levels. At this point, it was really stupid, actually. I still had Wing Attack, and I was like, you know what? I just don't understand. Maybe I need to look at what moves we can learn. So then I was finally like, you know what? Let's go ahead and teach it Waterfall. I don't think ever taught one of my Pokemon Waterfall to actually use in battle as a move like this. I don't think. But it kind of solved our PP problems. I was like, I'm not using Wing Attack against anything. Oh, and I forgot. I know we also went and we did actually backtrack and get Blizzard at the game corner or whatever it is. I think I got it. I can't remember now. It's been like a day or two. But it was kind of annoying to get, but we did end up getting that. And the problem with Blizzards is it's not very effective. But Icy Wind just was not cutting it. When I needed an ice move, it just wasn't strong enough. So I did end up getting Blizzard. I tried to use it as little as possible. Between Bubble Beam, Waterfall, and Surf, we got our water coverage. And water is like really the only thing Mantine can use anyways, for the most part. If it had Ice Beam, that would be a lot better. But yeah, Icy Wind just isn't hard enough, and Blizzard's too inaccurate. So against Bruno's team, most of the time, I did end up figuring out after several times, this was where I wanted to use Bubble Beam against most of his Pokemon. Even with Bubble Beam, no matter what move I used, it was going to be 2 hits. Surf even was 2 hits against them. They would barely hang on, so it's like, okay, I might as well use Bubble Beam then. The Karen was really annoying, because with Karen here, Umbreon kept paralyzing us, or confusing us, and I made Mantine, I think, hold the Bitter Berry. Is that what cures confusion? I think so. I was doing okay at managing our PP at this point. Surf was a little low, but I did have some, at least one ether left for Lance. I can't remember. But I was like, okay, our PP's fine. And this is where the issue was. Always with Vileplume, I wanted to use Blizzard. I never was able to hit. Spite would end up killing us. It would end up paralyzing us. Blizzard, like I said, never hit. Every single time we got to Vileplume, it happened literally 6 or 7 times at the very least. Where Blizzard just kept missing, and I'm like, I know if Blizzard hit Vileplume is dead. So after we leveled up to 60, I'm like, the rest of the league now is at the point where I feel like it's somewhat easy. I feel like we could have even got through at 50, actually, honestly. But I wanted to make sure we could secure the win against things like Vileplume, and especially some of Lance's Pokemon. I hadn't gotten to Lance that much at this point because Karen was so difficult. Only like twice, maybe 3 times. I just had bad luck against Aerodactyl and some stuff because I think we were still using Icy Wind then. I don't think I had made it to Lance yet at this point since we had learned Blizzard. But we are getting close to that again. We have Bruno here. And Bruno's team is basically just use Bubble Beam so I won't waste PP on other moves on him because Bruno is, in most playthroughs, pretty easy. We did almost die every time, but I don't know if we lost really ever against Bruno. Maybe like once or twice if Machamp had really good luck with its Cross Chop. Is that what it uses? That one move that's really inaccurate. And then Vileplume here, we finally connected with Blizzard, and that was able to do it. And I was going to use a weaker move against Houndoom just for PP purposes, but I was like, you know, fuck it. We're going to have to do this. Now, Gyarados, actually, I kept using Surf against Gyarados, and that was a mistake. I was like, you know what? I did use Surf once, and then after that, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Use Blizzard. I know it'll kill it. And then I was just, let's pray that Blizzard hits everyone else. Except for Charizard. Charizard, we can go ahead and use one of our water moves. And actually, good thing I planned on that because Dragonite, one of the Blizzards missed, and we had to use our last Blizzard against him. But Charizard, obviously, one-shot with Surf. And I was so glad to be done with this run. It's kind of funny how by far the longest part of this playthrough was the Elite Four. It was actually one of those things where it took like several times longer than anything else in the game. Oh my god. And like hours longer, and I just was not able to do it very efficiently and very quickly. But that is going to be the end for Mantine. I am thinking of doing, I think, maybe Parasect. I don't know. That won't be next, though, because next week I actually am going to be working at the job that was full-time before. Anyways, I'm going to be at my job a lot. So I'm going to do a Pokemon that's really easy next week. I don't think I've done Celebi yet on this channel. I'm thinking of doing Celebi because it's so hard to obtain in the game, or really you can't get it in the normal game. I'm thinking about doing Celebi and maybe doing it live because I really don't have time to edit next week. And I'll see you next week. Bye.